What time is it, Jeff?
It's almost 7:30. You'd better hurry, or we're going to be late for the theatre.
Oh dear, we're never going to get there on time if we take the tube.
We'll take a taxi then.
Good idea. I can't stand this rainy weather.
Don't worry. I'm taking an umbrella. Don't forget, we're meeting Dan and Linda for drinks after the show. Do you have enough cash?
Not if we have to pay for a taxi.
We'll get money out of the cash point then. Telephone!
All right, I'll get it. Hello? Thank you. I'll give him the message.
Who was that?
Your secretary. She said you left the theatre tickets on your desk at the office.
1,
I ate cake.
2,
We need groceries.
3,
I had pizza for dinner.
4,
It's time to get going.
5,
I add cream to my tea.
6,
I can't believe it.
7,
They made biscuits.
8,
I hate Paul. 1,
That person.
2,
that boy.
3,
That ball.
4,
That cat.
5,
That girl.
6,
Third person.
7,
Third boy.
8,
Third cat.
9.
Third girl.
Getting around London. London is one of the most popular destinations for European travellers. But before you arrive in this great city, you should plan how to get around. If you come to London by plane, most airports have trains into central London that leave every 15 minutes. If you arrive at Heathrow, you should get on the Heathrow Express. Heathrow is 32 miles away, but this train takes only 15 minutes. Return tickets cost under £40. Walking is a perfect way to see the sights, and London's pedestrian areas have improved greatly over the last few years. But what is the fastest way to get to your destination when you get tired of strolling the busy streets? The London Underground, or the Tube, is the best way to avoid traffic jams. It runs between 5 a.m. and midnight from Monday to Saturday, but on Sunday the tube and train services start later and finish earlier. There are some 270 tube stations in London, so there's always a station close by. However, the tube can be rather expensive, so you shouldn't go to the tube station and think, I'll buy a single ticket. If you're going to make several journeys, you should get an Oyster Card. An Oyster Card is a reusable transport pass, which is much cheaper than an individual ticket. Tourists enjoy seeing this picturesque city travelling on London's world-famous red double-decker buses. Buses are also quite convenient. Naples is a great place. 1,
Don't be surprised to pay €5 for a bottle of water.
2,
Be careful to never walk alone late at night.
3,
Remember to book your hotel well in advance.
4,
I'd buy my tickets early.
5,
Don't close the window.
6,
Take your seats.
7.
1,
Go there in the summer.
2,
I'd reserve early.
3,
I wouldn't swim there.
4,
Don't come late.
5,
the best city breaks in Europe. Are you bored at work and tired of the bad weather? Do you want to get away for a long weekend? Well, Europe is the best continent in the world for a short city break. Here are my top 4 destinations. This has to be number 1 on the list of places to go. It is simply one of the most beautiful cities in the world. The French capital really has it all. Stunning architecture, amazing food, some of the most fashionable shops anywhere, and world-famous museums. And when you're there, take a stroll along the River Seine. It's the best way to get a feel for the city. One word of advice. This is one of the most expensive cities in Europe, so don't be surprised if you pay €5 for a bottle of water. Since the Olympic Games of 1992, this city has been one of the most popular European city break destinations. Situated on the Mediterranean Sea and surrounded by hills, it is an intoxicating combination of the old and the new, perfect for sightseeing. Highlights include the many Gaudí buildings, the incredible La Boqueria market, and the beach. It is a safe city, but always use common sense and never walk the streets alone late at night. This is without doubt one of the most romantic cities in the world. Situated in a lagoon in northeast Italy, it has 100.
Welcome to our weekly podcast, Going Places in England. Today we are speaking to Jan, who lives in Barley, Lancashire. Jan, what's Barley like?
Barley is a quiet village and I love living there. We don't have the stress of the big city like rush hours or traffic jams.
That sounds great. How big is it?
My village is quite small. You can walk from one end of the village to the other in 10 minutes, so nothing is far away.
What's public transport like?
It's not very good. You really need your own car.
Dialogue 1.
Excuse me, sir. How far is the National Theatre from here?
It's quite far, I'm afraid. Too far to walk.
Oh dear. Is there a taxi rank close by?
Yes, it's very close. But it's rush hour now, and the traffic is really bad at this time of day. Why don't you take the underground to the theatre? There's a tube station very close, just 2 minutes away, on the other side of this pedestrian area. Dialogue 2.
I think I'll ride a Boris bike into London today, instead of taking public transport.
Oh, that's rather healthy of you. But isn't it a bit cold?
Not really, just slightly cloudy. And the weather report says it's not going to rain.
Aren't you a little afraid of getting hit by a bus in the bus lane?
Of course not. I'm always careful to stay in the bike lane.
I hope you are. How long does it take to ride a bike into London?
It takes about 30 minutes. Slightly less than it takes by bus, believe it or not.